FBI dropped a bombshell. Apparently, I haven't seen this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the FBI just dropped some absolutely bombshell information regarding Charlie Kirk's politically motivated assassin, and so honestly, this blows the lid off of the entire situation. You see, the FBI has just disclosed that Charlie Kirk's assassin actually left behind a final note in which he explained exactly why he did the terror.
He done the classic way. He left the note. Hold on, let me turn on the lights.
Terrible thing that he did. And so folks, make sure to stick around for today's entire video because as I said, this information frankly changes everything. But so without further delay, take a look at this.
Did he write a written note before the assassination attempt? That's what the governor said yesterday. And what did that say, if you could share?
So what I'm able to say, I'm sorry. So what I'm able to say is I addressed it partially earlier, is that the written note, we believe, what did exist, and we have evidence to show what was in that note, which is, and I'm going to summarize, basically saying, the suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
Huh? Wait, it was a burnt. Did they find a burnt note or the intact note? Or did the note get burnt after? Huh?
And so, folks, here's what this sounds like to me. It sounds like the alleged assassin, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, left this note behind for his transgender lover and roommate, then that the roommate actually attempted to destroy the note. But for more information on that, take a listen to what FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino had to say just earlier this morning.
There appear to have been multiple warning signs. You just laid out some of them. There were people in his network, friends and family, who had stated that he had become more political, that he had become, at some parts, I believe some of his coworkers had stated that he had kind of detached himself when the topic of politics came up and walked away from them. Family members said he'd become more political, leading us to believe that this ideology had infected him and had taken over, and he was just...
I wonder if he was a big viewer of Hassan.
Intent, it appears from the data we've accumulated and the channel and that note, which we have some evidence may have existed before based on the communications in that channel, that his target was obviously going to be Charlie and that people knew in advance. The question is, again, I just want to go back to what you had asked before. Did they know, were they sure of this, or did they hear this and just write it off? That's what we're going to have to find out, and that's what we're investigating now. Bill, this investigation is just begun. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. You know, yes, we have a subject in custody. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in our constitutional republic. However, this is not done by any stretch. Our men and women out there in the Bureau have worked tirelessly all week. I just got back to D.C. Last night. And, Cash and I were out there on the scene. We walked the scene. We went through every single component of it. We saw the evidence up close and personal. And we went out there to be able to make command decisions with our team on the ground. And I think the process, although not perfect, of course, I think the process went pretty well considering we got him in 33 hours.
Okay, yeah. And now, folks, what do you say we try to break down some of this evidence that he's talking about? Various online detectives, myself included, have actually been able to identify at least 6 individuals on the internet that seem to have known about the Charlie Kirk assassination in advance.
Yeah, I heard about this, bro. I heard about this one. Look what he says at the bottom, where he replies to himself. He says, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. How do they know? It's the day before. How did they know?
Internet that seem to have known about the Charlie Kirk assassination
1 month ago.
In advance, some of which were ominously talking about it up to 5 weeks in advance, all the way back in early August. And so, folks, that is what Dan Bongino is talking about. As it would seem, Tyler Robinson was actually a part of some violent far-left terror group, and that is what the FBI...
My headphone died. Hold on. Let me just switch. These should be at least 50%. They fast charge. Let's have a look. 70%. We're good, man. We're good.
is investigating right this very moment. But now, folks, there's actually...
And, you know...
Oh, damn, what happened there? Something fell and just skipped the video. Where was we? Like here. Where was we? Yeah, we'll be on this.
And
it happened. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, take a listen to what none other than goes back to updates. Please consider some piece of massive break is investigating right this very moment.
Yeah.
But now, folks, there's actually another piece of massive breaking news that I want to share with all of you. But first, I do want to say real quick that if you folks enjoy the daily news updates, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton.
Chanel.
Okay, check this out.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and even more so in these last couple of years.
Oh, it's looking more like he's listening to Hassan.
And he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for. Those are factually accurate investigatory findings by the FBI that we've handed over to the local authorities and the federal authorities to make their prosecutorial decisions. But I believe in this instance of such public importance, the public has a right to know.
That's bloody scary,
and
man.
I told you I'm committed to transparency, and that's what I'm doing here today.
Why didn't that person that he was talking to, why didn't that person say something?
Because they're all part of the network, innit? They're all part of the killer network. They're all sicko. It seems like they're all sicko killer leftists. They're willing to kill people for opposing their opinions. That's what it seems like. It's like there's a group of them or more. And there's loads of them online I've been seeing that are celebrating the death. It's like, what's up with ya? That was an attack on freedom of speech. So, yeah. Seems like there's a network or something. Investigate them all.
You know, our investigation is ongoing.
They're always screaming fascist, fascist, and look at the way that they act. It's ridiculous. Investigate them. They're the Nazis, really. Investigate them.
Great question, and we don't have an answer on that just yet.
Disagree with what you say? Yeah, I'll kill you. Instead of having argument or whatever, or debate or whatever. Nah, I'll kill you. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's the way of the Nazis.
And so, folks, all of this really just goes back to the notion that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a member of an online far-left terror group that knew about the assassin's plan before anything had happened. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, take a listen to what none other than Stephen Miller had to say about that just the other night.
There is a domestic terrorism movement in this country. When you see these organized doxing campaigns, where the left calls people enemies of the Republic, calls them fascists, says they're Nazis, says they're evil, says they have to be removed, and then prints their addresses, what do you think they're trying to do?
This is what they do.
They are trying to inspire someone to murder them.
Yeah.
That is their objective. That is their intent. And when you see online, Sean, as we've seen for the last few days, tape after tape after tape of federal workers, bureaucrats, staffers in the Pentagon, educators, professors, healthcare workers, nurses, celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Unbelievable.
These are radicalized people. There is a domestic terrorism movement in this country.
Damn.
And let me tell you something. I'm not
What a way to put it. He's had enough, the geezer. He's had absolutely enough. And it looks like he's right.
share with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection. But we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
And so, folks, there you have it. The Trump administration is getting ready to go scorched earth. And so, you know what? Hey, here's my opinion. Good, because that is what it's going to take if we want to start putting America first. But more importantly, in this case, if we want justice for Charlie Kirk.
He's 100% right. I agree. Oh, Trump looks like it's gonna be a bit of a mazza. Gonna be a bit of a mazza, man. Woe to those that are celebrating his death. My God, what a thing to do. This still hasn't loaded. What a thing to do. You know, celebrate someone's death because of they opposed your opinion. How ridiculous is that? You know what I'm saying?